Hello everyone and welcome back. So in this video I wanted to share a few tips and tricks. I haven't done one of these in a while, so hopefully you'll get away with some new techniques. So I wanted to start with this simple example where let's say you want to scatter or somehow transform the outside parts or the inside or only the inside of this geometry and you have no access to the full network. So this could be easily done by targeting the prims facing the positive Z or the negative Z. But let's say you don't have access to the previous part and you only have this geometry. So the end goal is to create this sort of mask, so either outside or inside part, and then we can clip it. And the way I'm gonna do that, so we have the geometry, we calculate a connectivity, so just a class attribute on prims, then we extract the centroid, we add by group, and we orient along we orient the curve and we create some custom normals. In this case, I don't want to save it as normal, I want to save it as underscore n or any other name. So that way I can copy that attribute to the normals, to the geometry, and we will have that attribute as you can see. And in order to target the outside parts, I can just do a comparison of the normals and that normal attribute with the dot product. And if we output that as a mask, we have the outside part. And if we invert the sign in here, we get the inside that we can later clip by attribute as you can see. So I want to go back to a subject that we have explored before on orienting UVs up. As you can see, in this case I have this roof-like shape and I have on purpose changed the rotation of the UVs. But even if we just do a UV flatten, some of the islands might become inverted as you can see, especially if you have a mirrored-like shape. And this HDA that I created that I'm going to show you next can easily orient the UVs up. And even if you feed a more complex geometry, as you can see, I have the UVs sort of scrambled in here, and I can just place this one and it should orient properly up. So let's have a look at that HDA. I'm gonna switch to the simple geometry. So this one in here, and let's see what UVs. I'm gonna pick this one. So the idea is still the same. We create the connectivity by UV island, and we will have an ID for each island. Then we use the relative point bounding box to get the Y component. So we have a value going on the Y direction. And as you can see, we just use the relative point bounding box and extract the Y component. Then we measure the gradient of that Y val by piece attributes, so by these islands. And instead of using the default one of the position attribute, which is P, we use UV, so we can do it in UV space. So this way we don't need to convert this geometry to UV, like UV equal or P is equal to UV, and have to do the measuring there. We can just do it in place in here by using the position attribute as UV. Then we just orient the UVs up with these vec snippets, which we get I'm saving this as up tangent, and we get that using the prim function. Then we create in here a geo variable that will unwrap the geometry in place. That way we can get the bounding box on the bounding box center in UV space. So we can later subtract that bounding box center, rotate the UVs, and get back to the original position after doing the rotation, of course. Then we calculate the angle of that with the 8 and 2, and we do the rotation along the z-axis, which is the axis that the UVs operate on. And that's how we do this UV orient UVs up. And we can change it to a more complex geometry also. So in this one, I wanted to talk about how to do some uniform distribution of shapes. So in this case, if I come in here, I have just a circle deformed along the x-axis or scale down, and I'm copying these 2 points. As you can see, they have a uniform distribution. But if I disable these and disable the p-scale, they will still have the same uniform distribution. But let's say I want to add some random some p-scale along the, in this case, the x-axis. So I'm just mirroring here the bounding box x. So it gets scaled down at the ends and more at the bottom, at the middle. And in order to redistribute them, I can use a similar ramp in here, but inverted, with a resample by density. And I can change the amount of segments I want. Then I would need to change the p-scale, of course. But in this case, setting it to 4, and I can come in here and align these better. And I can even distribute them the way I want, if I want to change that. But generally speaking, you want to have a similar shape you have on your p-scale. So in the end, I have this basic geometry that I built from just those shapes you have in here. You can have a look at the file on Patreon if you're interested. So let's say you have some geometry, in this case I have this torus, and I want to conform it to this tube. A simple way you can do that is by creating a grid, then reprojecting the grid to the tube and use a lattice in point mode. We had a look at this before. Use a lattice in point mode and play with the radius and project that torus to the shape or conform it to the tube. Another way you can do this is by using the surface deform, and as you can see it works a bit better, although in some situations it might deform too much the shape. So that's a way to conform a shape to another without, because the ray project here it wouldn't work since it has thickness. So let's have a look at a more complex approach. So in this case, let's see, I have a circle, fusing and sweeping just to get the rows, in this case, resampling, and in here I'm saving a prim ID that I probably won't use. Then I'm calculating an up attribute, as you can see in here, to point out just by normalizing P, and that will be important in a bit. Then I'm sweeping in here some rounded corners like a rectangle, and I get this sort of look. Now let's say I want to conform this shape to the sphere, so they wrap around. We can use the same approach as in here, use a grid and use the surface deform or the lattice, but here the lattice won't work very well. So what we can do, or the lattice or the surface deform will deform it too much. So in this case, after doing this sweep, I'm doing another one in here, set to ribbon. Then I'm assigning the up to the normals, so I can easily reproject it to the sphere. And this is the deformed geometry, this is the rest, and this is the geometry to be deformed. Then with a simple point deform, we can get this sort of look. If I use a surface deform, I believe this gives a different result. So if I connect the rest and the deformed, as you can see, it's not bad. It's just another way to do it. But as you can see, it will look much different. This one will have a more bulged out effect. So in this case, this one may work even better. So that's another way. So as you can see, you can use more complex geometry and multiple shapes, and these will hold up. I also have a custom one in here that is using a deformation matrix. Basically, I wanted to show you in here. So let's see how much different that is. So it's not much different, but I wanted to show you something in here. So after calculating the matrix by using the normals and an up attribute, I am reading that deformation matrix by using the UV sample. And since I have UVs in here, because I UV flatten those ribbons, I can simply read the position or sample any attribute by using the UVs. But in this geometry, I don't have the same UVs. I don't even have UVs. So what I can do is to UV sample based on position the UV attribute, as you can see. And we do get stretched UVs, but that won't matter because we can now use the same UV sample to to read in that matrix that we calculated by using the UVs again. And if we haven't calculated those UVs, this wouldn't work, as you can see. So just UV sample is such a powerful function that you can apply to reading normals and read any attributes you might want. So yeah, guys, all the project files will be available on my Patreon alongside with exclusive tutorials if you're interested in learning more. And as always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you.